Alright. There we go. Tapu Fini. Hopefully I'm able to hit odds today. Although I would much greater prefer if I just straight up got it. Ooh, rivalry. Is it gonna happen? It didn't happen. Okay. Anyways, hi, Sushi the Shark. We got Marshmallows and Stream Elements who didn't actually get taken down. So I tried to disable it, but I guess I didn't disable that message specifically. But there's been a rivalry because Stream Elements isn't actually set as a mod, but Nightbot is, because we actually have Nightbot commands, not Stream Elements commands. So typically if Stream Elements sends that, Nightbot will read that has a link in there, and then we'll delete the message. So it's always fun if that pops up to see how long we might have. Oh gosh. It is silly. I'm very delayed on starting. Oh. It happened. That was very delayed. Should you hunt for Dratini or Swirlix? Me personally, I think I like Swirlix more. So I would personally say Swirlix, but if you want to hunt Dratini, it's also a very good shiny. It's a very tough decision, I will say. Two very good options. Well, this seems like a no-brainer. We go right. Hopefully someone... Actually, ground type, maybe no one takes that. Well, it's Gastrodon, so it has Storm Drain, right? So water type moves shouldn't hurt it. Plus it is also part water. But then there's an electric type, which I think is Electabuzz. And then there's the poison type, which is Scolipede. So, in theory... Yeah, in theory, nothing should go wrong. Unless the AI all decide not to switch. Oh. Okay, so funny story about Charjabug actually. So when I was younger, okay, so I watched the black and white anime when I was that was my first exposure to Pokemon. Took a break after that ended. I never really thought about it. Then Sun and Moon I randomly found one day and started watching that. And this was around the time Sword and Shield were about to come out, so that got me back into Pokemon and then led to me deciding to just go ahead and get the games. So I got Sword around that time. I played through it, I liked it, and then I was kind of looking for things to do after beating the game. And I saw the one episode where they have like a bunch of Charjabugs together. And I think there's a whole bunch of different colors. I don't remember. I just remember one of them was red. And I think at the time I somewhat knew what shiny Pokemon were. So without any other knowledge about this Pokemon, I'm like, that red one, that's what the shiny looks like. I need it. So I went to like route whatever it is. I don't know if this game uses one, like starts at 1, or if it's like 20 something. Like, you know, route numbers have been weird. I think they started using actual numbers. Anyways, I went to like the first route you visit in the game, and I just started encountering the exclamation marks, hoping that I would end up running into a red charger bug, which is already not very common to get a normal charger bug. It never happened, and to this day I still have never hunted charger bug properly. So maybe I'm due for a charger bug hunt. But remember, like, I was so delusional at the time that, like, I took a trade, because I had some of the cards from the trading card game. I took my charger bug card, and I, like, opened the little cartridge flap on my Switch, and I just kind of like wiggled the bottom corner in there a bit. Not so much to where like it was going to get stuck or mess with anything, but just so it was like in there. Because in my mind, the game would somehow be able to read that the card was there and be giving me more charger bugs. And now the crazy thing is I did actually get a handful of charger bugs more often after doing that, but I think that was just pure coincidence. Makes me wonder if I stuck a shiny charger bug in there if it would do anything. Never got to be a red 40 bug. Maybe I'll name one red 40 if I ever get one. You know, honestly, this is Dynamax Adventures. As long as I take a route... Now, this is probably only going to happen during Tapu Fini, honestly, because I don't think any other Tapu will need Charger Bug ever. Well, that's not true. Because I might have to cross through a Charger Bug adventure map or whatever. Like, Charger Bug might be on my way to another Tapu, so I might still have to catch one. And of course, Dynamax Adventures, you have no control over what the game actually gives you. So, hey, maybe there's a chance. Maybe I'll get a Charger Bug. It can't be this one because I think I started with it, but it would be cool. Floating a Lola rat. I am so mad. I wanted to get a Raichu Sitting Cuties. The Alolan one, because I like Alolan more than regular. But they're sold out, because everyone wanted one. And I could order one online, because there's a handful that... And when I say online, I mean like secondhand. But I'm scared to do that because I think they're like obviously a bit of an upcharge on stuff like that, just because the idea is people reselling them, and like I just know the second I do that they'll restock it officially. They are, and I mean that makes sense. Alola was where they originated. The whole idea of that was to bring back Pokemon you loved, but in like new forms fitting for the region, and it worked. It worked for that game, but they tried to push it too far, because Sword and Shield, we kept getting that. In Legends Arceus, however you want to say that, we got more, kinda. Scarlet and Violet, we didn't actually, I think we only got like, what, one actual Paldean form, which was Wooper. I think everything else was like one of those special things where it's like it's not actually the same Pokemon, they just look the same. You're gonna hunt for the Shalfa? Good luck. I need to do some Shalfa hunts, because those will actually be fun. That works. I cannot stop coughing. Oh yeah, Paldean Tauros. I forgot about that. Yeah. And then ZA, I don't think there's any like Kalos forms, which makes sense because I mean, unless you count the new Megas, but I don't know. That's not really a benefit of being in Kalos. I feel like theoretically, like if we consider from an actual Pokemon point of view, like nowadays, if any regions with those Pokemon had access to Mega Evolution, then those Pokemon would definitely have Megas available still. Like Galar Pokemon, actually, yeah, there are some Galar Pokemon that got one. Like, if this game had Megas, then those would be able to Mega Evolve, I'm sure. But obviously that's not how that works, because these games don't even have Mega Evolution. And also, I don't know if timeline-wise, if we've even hit the point where those Megas were brought into existence, so... Gopi is a bug horse? It is. I love Scolipede. I didn't like it at first just because I very much dislike bug types. And that's not because bug types are bad, even though they are. I didn't say that. You didn't hear that from me. It's just because I don't like bugs. So, why would I like bug types? I feel like if you could cook a Scolipede, it would be crunchy. Yeah, I can imagine that. Like, I think, like the black side of it, that's like the bottom, its belly and everything, I assume. Like, I feel like that would be kind of like gooey and chewy. Because, like, that's where the actual meat is. But the shell on the back, I feel like that would give it a nice crunch. Not, like, so hard you can't even bite through it. But, like, it would give it a crunch. Oh, Scolipede doesn't even have an actual poison move. It's just toxic. I hate this because either way I lose. Why is it programmed like that? I swear they sat there and programmed it to where, like, if it has something that's good, swap. If it doesn't have something that's good, don't swap. But then to keep it fair, there's like a 1 in 20 chance that something with something bad will swap and something with something good won't swap. It's stupid. Might get Sword and Shield maybe. They're not okay, they're not bad games. Like, honestly, they're probably some of the best games on that Switch. Like, before ZA came out, I think these were probably, honestly, the best Switch Pokemon games. Because this was, like, right before it truly, like, just was gone. Fall off. Like, these still function right, I feel. You just want to do raid dens? That's fair. They're fun. I remember in my little era of not really knowing what to do after beating the game, and obviously before DLC had come out, I remember literally, because this was like the only game I really had, so you know, it was like, do I play Pokemon or do I sit around and do nothing all day? So I remember I would get like strong Pokemon built up for like the regular raid dens and just start doing them and getting all the experience and stuff. So I was pretty well stocked in my first playthrough. Well, maybe not the playthrough, but like post game, I was well stocked. I had like everything I needed. We want to get shiny Tapu Lele? Huh? Well, this will be your way. Unless they decide to add something else. Good resetting spots? I actually don't know. It's a great question. I'm not too smart as far as resets. The most I've done is just flying to the same fly point for like the wild areas. If I do get the shiny Fini, what ball am I gonna use? I've been using Luxury Ball just because I like how the black of the Luxury Ball matches with the black of the Tapus when they're shiny. Typically, I try to use either Heal Ball or Luxury Ball when I can, depending on which one would match better. Although I've been trying to, if I can get the money, I really need to look into ways to money grind for all the games I plan to start playing, because I want like a whole stock, maybe not a lot, but like 100 to 200 of every possible Pokeball, because I want to start matching Pokeballs more, because at first I had this weird thing where like I wanted every shiny I had in the right, like in one Pokeball, which for the longest time was Luxury. And so that kind of hurt when I would do like shiny only playthroughs or whatever, because you couldn't catch them in Luxury Balls. It was a playthrough. You didn't really have access to them. So then by the time I finished, I'm like, I don't see you the same because you're not in the right ball. Also, Blade King, hi. Yeah, I'm gonna try to start stocking up on more Pokeballs so I can actually like color match. I think the only exception I would have to color matching is if I were to, it depends. If I hunt a Crobat as a Crobat, which I think you can possibly do in Sword and Shield. If I do that, then I'm using like some kind of pink Pokeball. But if I'm hunting it as a Zubat or Golbat, then I'm going to use a Luxury Ball just so it's easier to evolve. Anyways, I didn't do the counter. I'm stupid. Alright. So the first two are not shiny. Scolipede, no shiny. Tapu Fini, I don't think those are shiny. Yeah. No shinies. I had this dream last night where I was like in some kind of fancy hotel or whatever, And it started off with like, so I was doing something and I hear someone knock on the door, and then as I'm walking up, I'm like, come in. And as I'm walking up, you can just see they're standing at the door. It's cracked open. They were just waiting for permission to enter. I think it's friendship at night, maybe. No, just level up. Okay. Is it at night though? I feel like I remember something with Snom at night because of Moth, but I might be wrong. Never trust me on advice. I'm dumb. Can't really remember. It might be. I don't know. I remember it had something special to it, I think. How does Fini close the show? That's a true question. I've never known. Yeah, that's how I got my frost moth. I think I hunted it normally. I don't have that frost moth anymore, I don't think. Which, honestly, I think that means I just am due to hunt frost moth at some point. Maybe it shrinks. Yeah, I mean, if Pokemon shrink or digitize or whatever to go in their Pokeballs, then I think Fini can shrink or digitize to go into her shell, right? Yeah. I think it just lays down. Because I just looked at how it looks when its shell is closed. And I think the motions is like at its, what we can assume would be its waist based on the slightly humanoid appearance. What would be the waist if it were human? I think it just bends there. Because it looks like it just lays down or like folds up with the shell. So that's probably what it does. That'd be my guess, at least. Yeah, I mean, that's probably why we also only ever see them, really, with them being open. Because I'm sure some of them are painful. Like, hold on. Let me look at Bulu's. Just, yeah, Bulu would also have to be painful. Because, like, its horns bend with it. And unless those are, like, just, like, soft and don't have, like, anything in them, like, it has to do, like, a full rotation with those. That cannot be comfortable. So either it has no feeling in what are supposed to be the horns, or, you know, they only do it every so often because it's painful. Coco is easy, though. It literally just puts its arms together. What? No! This is what I get for not looking. I hate that the Switch 1 goes so much slower. I sat there and waited too, because I thought for sure it would be already prepared to start moving. I did the correct everything, but it still gave me the wrong path. I hate that. To be fair, I don't know if I was even going to win this, so I don't mind if it goes off track now. Because I'm already at one stupid death. You already know what balls you're gonna use? That's good. I will say though, for Bulu, I am actually slightly considering, like, what is it? The cave ball or what? I don't know what it's called. It's the one that works better at night and in caves. Because that's like black and green. And while I know Bulu isn't necessarily green, I always see like the yellow on it looking more green when it's shiny. I might be crazy, but to me, like, it just looks more green when it's shiny. Yeah, Dusk Ball. That one. It had a name, I just didn't know what it was. I think it's funny that I'm sitting here about to hunt all the Tapus like this, because I am literally also about to turn around and at some point hunt them in the original games as well, because I can do shiny lock removal. Interesting. I like that. Oh. Okay, this actually works out good. Anyways, I remember there's this one guy who I knew at one point, and he wanted to be like some kind of know-it-all or whatever, acting like he just knew everything and he was right. So one day I was sitting with my 3DS doing like soft resets or whatever for one of the, because I had shiny lock removal set up, and I was doing soft resets for like one of the legendaries. I forget which one. But I'm sitting there doing that, and he sees I'm playing on a system, so he comes up to be nosy, and he's like, "What you doing?" "Shiny hunting." "Well, you know that can't be shiny, right?" "Well, you know this is a modded system, right? You can mod these things, and you know you can remove shiny locks, right?" I'm not stupid. Trust me. I feel like if you know enough to know what shiny hunting is, you probably know enough to know that there's probably ways to get shinies that aren't typically possible. Like, you know that can't be shiny, right? Well, if you have enough knowledge to know this can't be shiny, then you have enough knowledge to know shiny lock removal is a thing. So, yeah. I don't really know what his deal was. And then, of course, just to rub it in his face, I think it actually did shine, like, right after. So, he said, like, you know that can't be shiny, right? And then it happened right in front of him. And I'm like, yeah, it can't be shiny. That's crazy. This can't be shiny, so then why is it shiny? Whoa. I am doing this with the shiny charm just because I already have it on these files, and also because no charm Dynamax adventures, I've tried them. They are not my thing. But I'm also just doing like a full run of like everything you can get through Dynamax Adventures that can only be found shiny legit through this game. Doing all that because I plan to reset these and start doing full odds hunting. So, you know, I kind of need to hurry up and finish all this. Unfortunately, this is only the first hunt, so I got a long ways to go. Because I think there's 7 shinies I still need, because I already have Lunala. The Olga use Roar of Time, it doesn't affect the opposing Jigglypuff. Yeah? Yeah? I always liked using. I hated actually using Jigglypuff. I preferred having Wigglytuff, but it was great for Giratina because Giratina just could not touch my Jigglypuff. Because I think its only attacking moves are Dragon and Ghost type, unless there's another I'm forgetting. Because these things also cheat and have more than 4 moves. I'm pretty sure. Now, when you catch them, they can only have 4 moves because, yeah. But I'm pretty sure in Dynamax Adventures, things like the opponents can have, well, the final bosses that you fight, I'm pretty sure they can have like 5 moves. Well, I mean, I understand some older Pokemon being more random. Because keep in mind when Fairy type was added, it was either give a bunch of old Pokemon the Fairy typing, or add 1,000 new Pokemon, it feels like, just so they could add more Fairy types. So it makes sense that they were like, yeah, let's just give old Pokemon it. But they didn't really do a great job. I feel like a lot of fairy types we got, like, those should not be fairy types. It did not deserve that. You just gave it that because you needed it. Anyways. Get your head start. Because loading times are a pain. Why do you have a tail? Why don't you have a tail? Wahaha. Pokemon is really trying to sell me on buying, well, I guess pre-ordering Pokopia. It's a nice game. I would get it if it weren't a key card. That's like the only issue I have with it. I'm not a fan of key cards. Alright. Executor. No. Frostlass. No. Maractus. No. Tapu Fini. No. When is the left game going to get a shiny? I have found 3. I want to do math real quick because I'm genuinely curious. Okay, so mathing time. We are at 84. But you have to half that because I'm doing double. Like, I'm counting double because I'm doing this on 2 switches. So, in reality, each game has only done 42. Keep in mind that that means if I counted the 42, you know, that's 4 Pokemon for Dynamax Adventure. We're at 168. So the left game has seen at least 168 Pokemon. At least. I have failed some. So if you really want to be accurate, we'll add and say that with the amount I failed, I've done, you know, it's enough to add up to make up for like 3 Dynamax Adventures. Boom. 180 Pokemon seen without a shiny. This game is cooked. Meanwhile, in the same 42, the right game has found 3 shinies. Maybe I need to turn on my shiny charm. Maybe it's not working. And of course, it would be even worse if I get to 100 and it doesn't get anything. It would really suck if the right game ended up even getting Tapu Fini, or even phased one more time and then got Tapu Fini. You know, the right game has gotten so many shinies at this point that honestly I feel like the left game is just trying to save up. And what it's going to do is it's going to wait until I start the next hunt. And then like 2 encounters into the next hunt, the left game is finally going to have a shiny and it's going to be the legendary. Double shiny Fini? I feel like that's like super not going to happen. Because like, if you think about it, it's like 1 in 100 chance for anything to be shiny. So that doesn't matter. But then you also have like the 1 in 100 chance the other game also gets a shiny. But then also the 1 in 4 chance that's the exact same shiny. I mean, theoretically, like, if you were to tell me this Dynamax adventure right now, both games were going to get a shiny, like, it doesn't matter what I do, they're both getting a shiny, I would just not catch anything and only catch Tapu Fini, because if they're both getting a shiny, it's Tapu Fini. Boom. You can steal the luck if you want, but it's not that great. I'll say that. Just keep in mind that, like, aside from ZA hunts, which, I mean, they're Z8 hunts, so do with those what you will. Like, my last Dynamax Adventures hunt, okay, Sword and Shield actually, like, my Skorupi hunt, which I did with random encounters, I don't think I focused too much on, like, battling and the brilliant auras or anything. Skorupi took 1,339, which is under odds, actually. Let's see, and then my last Dynamax Adventures hunt, it took 356. It was not pretty. Send Larry? No, not Larry. Yeah, Bob. No, not Timmy Tough Knuckle. Alola is turning 10 this year. That's crazy. Okay, this is something cool that I really want, but I'm never gonna have the money for it. They have the Lionel Pokemon Winter Express electric model train. It's so cool. I love model trains, and I would love to get this, but it's like $460. I don't have that kind of money. I'm sorry, Pokemon. They have a Pokemon chess set, but that's $200. I don't want to spend that much. Okay, this is something I actually think is cool. They have like the Pokeballs that are like themed around actual Pokeballs in game. They also have for $40. These are really cool. The destination Pokemon posters, there's one for every region up to Galar. And I've actually seen these in the back of, I think it's like PM7 videos they have. But I'm pretty sure he also got like custom made ones or whatever for Paldea. That, or this is an old listing and they do have a newer listing that comes with Paldea. Or Paldea is sold separate maybe, I don't know. But I'm pretty sure I've seen he's had like Paldea and maybe even some like the legends for Hisui. I don't know, I feel like I've seen him have more than just those 8. Don't forget Bob and like, oh gosh. We're building an insane lineup. Ceramic figure of Jigglypuff. I swear, if anyone ever buys me that, I am beating them up. I I do not want a Jigglypuff thing. Okay, what? So these are pillowcases, by the way. I don't think they actually come with pillows to put in them. There's one for Eevee Holiday, and there's a 2-pack for like Alolan, Vulpix, and Ninetales. They're the same price. Why does the 2-pack cost the same as the 1-pack? Is Eevee worth that much? Oh, that's so cool. They have like region themed maps. If I can find one for like Unova. That's probably sold out because... Okay, they do sell the posters individually because I found one that's just Yalar. Lil Jim. Oh, Lil Jim Bob. Yeah. You can name it Munchkin Man? Oh my gosh. Yes, name it Munchkin Man. I can't speak. You know, my Munchkin Man. Wow. Will I still be streaming like 2 hours? Probably. I know for a fact I'm hitting odds, but that itself might not be 2 hours from now. But if I hit odds with no shiny, I'll probably just consider going longer. Because I already know I'm not going to be able to do anything tomorrow. If I do, it will be really late. So, I'm kind of just thinking about doing this for as long as I can. Okay, I just saw something that I never thought about before. So I have the special edition Sun and Moon 3DS. Well, it's the new 3DS XL, okay? Never occurred to me that people online sell like custom faceplates. I don't know if these are the actual ones from the system or if they're like off-brand like reproductions of them. But like never occurred to me that like if I just had a regular black new 3DS XL, I could just buy these and put it on them, or put them on it. Of course, I'm perfectly happy with my 3DS, especially because for the price I got it, apparently that's just what 3DSs go for now, which is crazy. Haha. Okay, that's funny. So, I found a listing. It's not actually for the system. It's Nintendo 3DS XL and 24 game cartridge display stand only. This would be really cool to have if I had specifically the Nintendo 3DS XL, but I think that might still be smaller or a different proportion to the new 3DS XL. Especially because I have a protective shell on top of it. Yeah, it has like a paper printout of the system and games. And then one of the slides says Game Boy and games not included. A Game Boy? What Game Boy? Oh, you can... Okay, it's really customizable though. I like that. I guess because it's like 3D printed or whatever. I love my shop with talent flame named KFC. Nice. My luck is named Eternity. He taught. Wow. I love the sound it makes there. Oh, and they make it for like multiple different systems too. That's cool. Genuinely, like, I would actually consider getting something like this. I'm not even gonna lie. Oh, they make it. Yeah, they do make it for everything. They have like a bunch of Game Boy models too. That is cool. Yeah. Okay, these are cool. found custom shells for the new 3DS XL that are themed around the Let's Go themed Switch. That's cool. Although I don't know how easy it would be to do a shell swap mod like that. Because like the bottom screen, or I guess the bottom shell, that's the easiest, because you literally have to take that off anyways to be able to get to the SD card. That's easy to take off. I've done it multiple times. The top one though, that like you have to tear apart the system, I think. That'd be scary. If I were to get another 3DS, I would want a new 3DS, I think. Because it's small like the original 3DS, but it's not like crazy underpowered. I mean, not saying the 3DS is underpowered, but the new models do have more power to them. Unfortunately, like, all 3DS models go for like over $200 now, it seems, unless unless that's just what people are listing them for, and they don't actually sell for that much, especially when there are people who aren't like bulk sellers. They are just like one person who's like, I don't use this anymore, let me see if I can sell it. Which sucks then, because like they probably are just trying to give it a new home or whatever, and then no one's buying it because either they see listings that have like more to them or whatever, or they just think it's gonna be a scam or whatever because they're buying some person's used model versus like some companies like, yeah, we refurbished these. Oh! The left game finally pays out! Okay. Voice crack. It finally paid out, at least. Alright, Berserker, no. Serena, no. Tapu Fini, no. Well, at least the left game finally pays out. Where are we at? 86? Properties, browse. You gotta go back one and then go into Gen 7. Boom. Bear. We Bear Bears. Ice Bear. That's not an Ice Bear, but it reminds me of Ice Bear. Where is it? There it is. It's Rash, no marks because it can't. That's cool. Okay. So in theory, the next shiny is going to be Tapu Fini, right? Please. Surely not back to back, but it'll happen, right? I would name it Butter, but I don't have nicknames turned on for this. I have them turned off because I did Masuda. So like nothing actually gets nicknames. If I remember by the time I get the Fini and go to name that, then I can name it. Coffee dog. I found a Hatsune Miku 3DS shell, the new 3DS XL. Someone probably wants that. I'm sure there's someone in the world who would buy that. I'm not the person, but I'm sure there's someone. Hold on, this is confusing. So, does the PSP still work without a battery? Because I see one that's listed as Sony PlayStation Portable, tested working, no battery or charger. So then it's not working, because for it to work, it needs a battery. Listings are so annoying because like you always find stupid ones that have like stupid gimmicks when looking for stuff. Like this one. Oh wow, it's $30. That's a great deal for something that works. No, because it's also $50 in delivery. Why? That's my thing. If there's a delivery fee and it's small, but it's for like, I have to have it no matter what, like no matter how I'm getting it, it's gonna have that extra fee because it's like coming from somewhere else or whatever. Like, sure, that's fine, I'm not avoiding that. But then once it gets to where like the delivery fee itself is as much or more than the actual price of the thing I'm buying, then like no, why would I buy that? That's just a scam. Paying more for delivery than I am for the system. I'm gonna have to ask my friend at some point to see what the best way to go about getting one of these things is, because he knows more about this system than I do. Oh boy. Have I sat on this that long? Wow. It's possible to phase on a different Pokemon for this hunt? I would not know. Unless you're asking about the Fini hunt, but obviously yes. It just happened. This is the best gameplay ever. Oh gosh. I just saw something that was like She set a reminder of her favorite Pokeball. And he holds up a friend ball. Dang. Poor guy. Oh, that was a random thing I just thought about. Really? Fine. I'll swap, I guess. So I remember, I think it was actually during one of the Tapu hunts. I remember when I watched A Drive and one of the hunts he did during Dynamax event. I think it was when he got Coco actually. He went to like post it on social media and everything, just like, yeah, we got a shiny on screen and everything. Like, I remember like he went to open up Instagram and he's like, I don't even know how to post on Instagram anymore because I just open it up and I get attacked by these real things. I did not know anything about Instagram at the time, so I'm like, you're attacked by these real things? I thought he was saying real like R-E-A-L, like something that was real. It was like attacking him or whatever. I'm like, what are you doing? I was so confused by it. But then I found out that no, he meant reels. Like, those are the first thing you see, and that's true actually. You open it up and then that's like, boom, real. Well, actually it shows posts first, if there's anything I missed, and then it shows me the real things. Oh no. Oh. Yeah, I'm close on that. I don't I know exactly what he means when he say he was attacked by those real things. Oh gosh, those were like the back to back, two of the worst things my eyes have. I'm stupid. I'm using helping hand on my. I just realized why helping hand isn't doing anything. Because the Raichu is absorbing it. But the Raichu is also stupid and not attacking. I hate Raichu now. More so the NPC playing as Raichu. But still, I hate them. We could easily be doing damage to this thing, and big damage, but it's just not attacking. It better attack this turn. Thank you. I'll put my helping hand on you since you can actually do stuff. Did it already set up a light screen? It might have. This is gonna do big damage, right? Because it's got 2 lightning rods stacked up and a helping hand. That did do big damage. Max ooze. It lived? That's slightly annoying because you know it's gonna die next turn. Well, it's gonna die in the next move it gets hit by anyways. So unless I have a way to heal it real quick. No, I don't. The Swirlix is random. Hey, for the longest time during my playthrough, well, maybe it wasn't the playthrough. I think it was the post game. I had redeemed the Ralts gift that had the Mega Stone with it and everything. And I thought it would be really funny if I just left it in the party, but didn't evolve it. So I had like a really high leveled Ralts in my post game era. And it was just with me. It didn't evolve. or nothing. Just stayed to Ralts the whole time. I don't know why I was scrolling. I do not want this thing in a special ball. All of them are shiny except for the Marshadow. Do better. Break all, like, just ignore the fact that the game is coded to not be shiny. Hunt it. Get a shiny Marshadow. Do better. Just get the shiny. It's not that hard. That's what I need to do, actually. I need to just get the shiny. Freya, I hate you. Even kit swapping would have been good, because it's still a decent Pokemon for what we're doing. So, like, is there any way to decipher the languages they use in Pokemon? Because, like, I got the pre-order bonus that was, like, a mouse pad, or as they called it, a playmat. And it has, like, Pokemon language written on it. I don't know if there's a way I can translate that to figure out what it actually says. I feel like at this point there has to be some way to translate it. Because like, I'm pretty sure, like, Pokemon's been around forever, so I think the language is a newer thing. I don't think that was written in anything for a while. I think that's a more modern edition. But, you know, that it still had its time around. And then, like, some random game like Final Fantasy X, they use a made-up language in there, which is literally just English, but it's scrambling the letters around. So, literally, like, one of the things you can do as a side quest is get things that will tell you what each letter converts to. So, if you have all that, you literally know exactly how to convert the language. I'm actually curious how the Final Fantasy X thing, I wonder how that works for other languages, because English, you know, it makes sense. It's literally just translate the letters as they should, and you get English. So then for, like, other languages, like Japanese, where the game originally came out, does it just swap around the characters still, but, like, for their language? I don't know. Oh, so this Raichu makes me mad. It sits here and eats all our boosts and then dies. It's annoying. At least it's dead, so I get 2 turns free. But I could have Dynamaxed this turn, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I could have Dynamaxed that turn. And I didn't, because I'm like, oh, the Raichu is still alive. In theory, it would just eat my move. And then it dies, so I've wasted my time. We. Alright. 88. Alright. Raichu, no. Blossom, no. Tentacruel, no. Tapu Fini, no. I hate that Raichu. I think I mashed way too much there, but I wanted to be safe rather than sorry. Alright. You gotta go? Alright. Sounds good. This is a bad path. I'm taking the worst thing. None of these are good, but that's probably the worst. Okay, these are all decent. Take Lurantis. Thank you. So, NPCs are no longer allowed to swap. But I am, because I'm better than everyone else. And I get to do as I wish. There's Blossom again. But there's also a backpacker which could give us some items. I think left is best because... Well, this is gonna suck. I need to swap immediately on the right... I'm not saying that actually. The left game needs to switch its Pokemon, which name I will not say. And the idea with this is going to be that I get the Gastrodon for Storm Drain, and then I get probably just Blossom, because I feel like Roselia, while it's good in as far as typing goes, I just don't know if defensively it's going to be great. Well, I have to swap because it did the glitch. That sucks. I'll go for it. Butter. You know what I'd love to try? A stick of butter wrapped in bacon and then with popcorn toppings. That's not good for me at all, and I don't even think you can reasonably eat that without dying after the first like 5 bites. So I think Gastrodon's purpose, if it has Storm Drain, is just eat water moves that come its way. Actually, how does Storm Drain work? I should check that. I want to say it just absorbs all water moves. Oh, it doesn't even have that. It has Sand Force. That's great. Imagine if you could run. Well, I guess its new goal is to try to paralyze. Is Leaf Storm the attack that like does a lot of damage, but it drops your special attack 2 stages? Because I remember like Superior has Contrary as a hidden ability, and one of the things I really wanted to do was use one of those that to where like every time it used that move, it would boost its special attack 2 stages. Am I gonna have to fight anything that has like pressure or something? I don't think so, because all the Tapus, I think, have their respective typings surge ability. Except for Fini, because water doesn't have a terrain. So instead, it just gets Misty Surge, the fairy one, even though they're all fairies. I know they'll all have that. And then I think Solgaleo has some like weird ability. Forget what it does, but I think it's the same as Lunala's, just a different name. Necrozma I think also has like that same thing but different name. What is it? Where like the first super effective move you get hit by. Well, no, I think it's if you're at full health. Super effective moves have their damage halved or something. Wow, that was a lot of damage. Wait, does that have Contrary and Leaf Storm too? And Zygarde, I know, just has its stupid ability that lets it phase change or whatever. Come on. There we go. 90. Will I get a shiny? Alright. No. 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 Lunala has Shadow Shield, Necrozma has Prism Armor, and Solgaleo has Steel Body, which makes it so its stats can't be lowered. Oh. That's right. That's what Solgaleo's does. Okay, I was close. That makes sense because Solgaleo is more bulky, so it also doesn't have 4 times weakness like Lunala, so that would be kind of weird if it got to basically cheat like that. Solgaleo might be a fun hunt as long as it does not go to. Give me a second. Let me look this up. I need to probably pay attention to the game first. There's 2 electric types. I want to get Jolteon. $825. Let's hope my Solgaleo doesn't go to 825. Oh boy, fun. I went on the Sitting Cuties page and everything is shifted, which means things have either sold out or things are back in stock. Which one it is, you don't know until you check. That sucks. I would have rather double stayed, if anything. You're just a person, yeah? I'm Pampor? Nice. Oh, I just randomly remembered something. So, I had a teacher one time who was like really strict about like no gum or whatever. So, you know, you're not allowed to chew gum, whatever. But one of the things I do a lot is just kind of like chew on my tongue a bit. Not like ridiculously hard or anything, so it doesn't hurt. Like, I just kind of like softly chew on it. Because it's fun, I guess. I don't know. Anyways, teachers saw me doing that one day and was like, go spit what out? The gum. I don't have gum. Yes, you do. No, I don't. I'm chewing on my tongue. See? I like opened my mouth so she could see it. She's like, oh. I'm like, yeah, you want me to spit my tongue out? Okay. I'll spit my tongue out. Oh, the Scizor Sitting Cutie looks so cute. I love it. I'm not the biggest Scizor fan, but it's cute. Azumarill, that's adorable. Jirachi. Wow, Shedinja can't actually sit up like you'd expect, so the actual product image is it laying on its face. That's funny. Meryl sold out, didn't it? No. I think Meryl sold out. Nope, it's here. We're good. I was sad for a second because I actually really want to get a Meryl one. I was afraid it might have been sold out. I'm not getting one anyway, so it doesn't matter, but... You can get the My Friend Malamar plush? No way. I love Meryl. Aw, Zygarde Complete is sold out. That sucks. I still need Zygarde Complete to complete my Kalos trio. Because I have Xerneas and Yveltal. I guess technically I need all the Zygarde forms, but I just want Complete, honestly. Again, I still hate how they do their listings. I wish they would do better about this. When stuff restocks, they don't restock it on the website. They just add a new listing for it. Alright, this isn't great, but... Okay, yes, thank you. Again, I'd rather Sophie swap there. And this is gonna suck because... there are 2 Pokemon that are weak to this final boss thingy. But only one of us is gonna be able to switch. This is bad, 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 bad. Plush. Peluche. Explore the plush tree. What's the plush tree? Holiday plush, sitting cutie, comfy friends. Soda pop plush, okay plush, squishmallows, large plush. I'll shop Poke Plush today. I don't need more sitting cuties. What do they got? They got a big Frostmoths too. They got Chikorita Pokedex size Poke Plush. It's 17 and 3/4 inches. Is that how tall it actually is? Is that technically a life-size plush? Hold on. No, it's 2'11". So it's not life-size, technically. 18-inch, you get a frost. Okay, curiosity. When it says it's 18 inches, is it measured from top to bottom, or is it wingtip to wingtip? Oh, it says it measures about 10.5 inches tall with an 18-inch wingspan. It's only like 20. Yeah, it's like $23. I would consider getting it. Then there's a lot of other random plushes. Togepi, Togepi. Kyogre? No, Primal Kyogre. 20 inches. These are all cool, but unfortunately for them, I am very much a sitting cuties person, so I will stick to my sitting cuties. I could get Kartana. That's my favorite Ultra Beast. See, the Tapu Fini listing keeps getting me because it's there and it's like, oh, that would be funny. I get Tapu Fini because I'm hunting it. But I just know with delivery times I'm going to end up getting the shiny before I would even get it. So it'd more so be a trophy on top of the actual trophy. And also that won't work because not all the Tapus are in stock. I think Fini is actually maybe Bulu, but I think Fini might be the only one actually in stock right now. Rip. I want to get a Bayleaf though. That I would have to get secondhand because I don't think Bayleaf is even in stock right now. And this sucks because they're just overall very bad about restocks. They always are saying, like, if anyone asks, hey, is this ever going to be in stock? They're like, we don't know when it'll be in stock. Can you at least say if it's going to? Like, surely you at least know if more are being produced. We don't need the exact date. We just need to know if it's going to happen. Because it's not worth getting your hopes up, hoping you'll be able to get it if it's not even going to be in stock. Like, just say if more are being made. You can at least tell us that, surely. And then when they do restock stuff, like the Kantos things were out of stock for like 3 years, it felt like. Very bad job. Like, I get it, it takes time to make all these, but like 3 years is crazy. I almost would rather they did short bursts of having them in stock to keep it more regularly stocked. Let's Hippo. Indeed. I also just hate the fact that they don't reset the listings or whatever. Like, if things come back in stock, they just put up a new listing. And they don't delete the old one. So if you go to the out of stock section, you'll start seeing the exact same plushes they literally just said were in stock. I don't know. It's stupid. You just arrived? I figured. But welcome. I got a shiny, as you can see. And I'm browsing the Pokemon Center website. As I do. I never buy anything if I'm just browsing. It's just fun to look at what I might get. Pursuit 100 Halucha, nice. Hopefully you get it. Butterbear. Butterbear. They have a Sylveon little figure that you can get. Aw, that's cute. I might get one. Anyways. Oh, that's some kind of weird feature they have. Okay, so I can explain that actually, because I actually have that working now. For the longest time it didn't work properly. So that's like a weird chat-based thing. It's meant to encourage people to interact. Basically, the more messages you send, the more XP you get. So, you know, if you have more XP, then your name will get that next to it. And there's ways you can get outside of chatting, because, like, I think it's, like, you get more if you do, like, donations and stuff. That is not something you can do, though, because not monetized. But assuming I was, no shiny, by the way, assuming I was, then that would be another way to get it. And it would give you more, because it's a greater interaction, I guess. I don't know. It's literally just like a little interaction incentive, because, you know, they would rather do everything but copy channel points for some reason. That's essentially what it is, though. It's just channel points. But it doesn't work. That's what's stupid about it. Because, like, half the time people aren't even able to get it. You're just about to donate? That's not an option, unfortunately. Because I think, I don't even know the requirements for it, and I don't feel like figuring them out. But I know, like, as far as, like, donations and stuff, I think you have to have 500 subs. Which, obviously, you take one look at that count and you can tell that I got, like, 350 something to go. You also need a certain amount of watch time. I forgot how much you need. Okay, apparently you need 500 subs, 3 video uploads in the last 90 days, and oh no, that's what I have. You need 3,000 valid public watch hours. Which, in my case, pretty much all of that comes from streams. Because the videos are not getting views, which is okay, because they're not really meant to right now. It's not the point. Although, it definitely works better if I'm able to keep up streaming, because that keeps the hype around, so, you know, people are showing up and looking at my stuff more. So then, in addition, I guess, it would also, like, you know, I get views from the people who would come to streams a lot, because they kind of saw that as, like, additional stuff. So I'm hoping things start working out better once I get back into this. Honestly, I think it's funny that my AFK shiny hunt in ZA got as many views as it did. It's not a lot, obviously, but it's still funny. Because obviously, I was not there. I didn't do anything. I literally just had my game hunt for me. Wait, I can steal roller. Because even though it deletes the terrain, I'm going to get more terrain anyway. Okay, never mind, actually, because that goes first. But yeah, I'm hoping things get back into a flow. I will say, unfortunately, for tomorrow, I'm either not going to be able to do anything, or if I do, it's going to be very late, because I have other things going on around this time tomorrow. Which sucks, but you can't do anything about that. And then Monday, I also don't know when I'll be able to do stuff. And also, this is like my last week of being fully free, because after this week, well, I guess after next week, actually, I have to start going back to classes, which sucks, but it shouldn't be too bad, because I only have 2 a day, and some days I have an online class, which honestly I don't even think is going to have much. And double, honestly, I think if that class works in a way I hope it can, then I literally only have to do it like one time a week, where it's literally just look at what they did, do whatever I need to do, and then be done. Should be easy. And I'm hoping that actually works in my favor, because, you know, it's online, which means I can take it at my own pace. Rotamus. Oh yeah, fun fact, Rotom is actually short for Rotamus. And also I'll need to see about the workload for it. But it's possible if it's like, let's say even if I have to do something all 3 days, it technically meets. Like, it doesn't have a scheduled time or anything, so I think that means it's literally just at my own pace. But yeah, if it's like maybe an hour work or so, I just have to do it all 3 days. It's technically scheduled to meet or whatever. I might see about just doing shiny hunting on the side if I can manage that. Or something Pokemon related. That way I'm just making something, like getting 2 things done at once. Because like a shiny hunt, I could get a shiny during that. Or if I'm working on a project, I can, well, a project that requires grinding, I guess, then I can work on that on the side of it. Tapu Fini. The Fini love. I do have a project I really want to start working on soon, but it has some downsides, or I guess things I need to work out before I can start it. So the first thing, it's a 3DS one, which means I'm gonna need to do a lot of filming with like live stuff because my 3DS doesn't have a capture card. It's really great, except for the fact that I hate using my phone camera because it's really inconvenient to transfer video files. So I really want to get like an actual camera or something, so that way I just have to do like SD card swapping, but that's gonna take some money to save up for. And then also I need to get some external storage so I can just have more storage, really, because videos take up a lot of space. Name a trio more iconic. Articuno, Zapdos, Moltres. I think everyone knows them. Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles. That's another one. Mario, Luigi, and I don't know, Bowser. No, Toad. Toad definitely fits more there. It was rhetorical. Well, yay! Still don't like that it's forcing my answers for me. Oh, out of curiosity, I actually looked because I was curious what the best way to avoid this weird glitch happening would be. Literally, the best thing I've seen was you need to know in advance if you want to swap on the game. And if you do, you have to mash A. Because basically, like, the 2 frames you have to actually press something before it just assumes for you or whatever. Like, the 2 frames before it does the no, I don't want to switch. Those are my only, like, that's my only window to actually input I want to switch. So I just have to know in advance, which sucks because my strategy is literally just me being like, okay, let's see, do the NPC switch? If not, then I'll take it. Or if they're trying to switch something bad that I would rather ensure I can swap off later, then I'll take it. It doesn't work when it forces it. Oh, I love how, like, on the eShop, if there's any Switch 1 titles that have compatibility issues on Switch 2, like, you can't buy it, it won't let you because they don't want you to buy a game that you can't play on your system. But it's always funny reading, like, the explanation for why you're not, like, why it doesn't work or whatever, and why they're not letting you buy it. Especially with, like, YouTube, because I think it says on there, progressions with gameplay were, like, progression issues with gameplay have been found. Progression issues with gameplay? What gameplay does YouTube have? Can you progress in the story of YouTube? Is it an RPG on the Switch? I might need to play YouTube on the Switch. That might be a good RPG to try. You hit a will-o-wisp. Good job. I hit a will-o-wisp once. And I died because of it. I reread the rhetorical thing, and I thought for a second it said it was a Rickroll, and I'm like, what? It was a Rickroll. I'm a Rickroll. Okay, I cannot say this out loud because reasons. So, real quick, I will throw it up on screen for you. Actually, no, I'm not doing that. That's a waste of screen space. That has no context to people. I'll literally just chatify this. They. I meant to say there. I don't know why I said they. I know exactly why I said that, actually. I just said, I went to say there, and I just brain farted. My new favorite word. Oh, no one wants this. I guess it is pretty bad. Actually, this team is pretty good. We got 3 Pokemon that have the ability to do electric type damages. Reasons. There are reasons, I promise. You know, if you fall in the ocean and you don't know how to swim, you can drown. Huh. That's a good one. Did you know that if you didn't inhale air, you would suffocate? You know, if you touch fire, you'll get burned. Did you know that if you cut yourself with a knife, you'll start bleeding? What are other ones? Did you know that if you fall from high enough, you'll take fall damage? You know, if you don't know how to walk, you can't walk. Did you know that if you speak a different language to someone else, they won't understand you? That's a good one. Did you know that if you don't know how to eat, you'll starve? You know, if you fall from a really high place, you can get a concussion. You can get a concussion from falling from a low place, too. So, I mean, I feel like a high place, that would just hurt you more. Do you know if you can't make money, you can't use money? Well, legally. Do you know when you put food in a microwave, it heats up? Do you know why it heats up? Because you microwave it. Why is it called an oven if you in the cold food and out hot eat the food? If you eat a cookie, the cookie gets less and less cookie. True. If you eat food, you get full. Did you know if you're shiny hunting, you might get a shiny? Did you know when you consume air, this is a process known as breathing? And when you breathe, you consume air? Do you know that if you don't know what no is, you don't know what is no? Wow. Facts. Do we win? Almost. Almost enough damage. That's crazy. That's true though. That's true. I remember watching something. I don't know actually if this was like a real clip, or if the guy was being intentional with it. But like, he was doing, this was back when this came out, but he was doing the first Dynamax adventure with Suicune, and people were saying something about taking it or whatever. It was like, oh, I'm not listening to chat because knowing you guys, you're going to tell me not to take it, but this is like the only time I'll have the option to take it, so I'm taking it anyways. And he sat there with it for the longest time, and I think he finally used it, and it sparkled. He's like, wait, why did it do that? And he's like, oh, it's shiny. He had no idea it was a shiny Suicune, which is kind of funny. But I don't know if he was like being intentional with that or what. Alright, no. 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 No Tapu Fini. Yes. The answer to that one is yes. Boom. Explosion. Curseblode. Boom that. Boom that. Take the Galvantula. Alright, and take Malamar. You know what? I'm not even mad. Because that's still like a really solid team. So I'm thinking the ideal route is just player 1 takes everything. Oh, this isn't going to work great because there's nothing good at the last option. But it doesn't matter. Player 1's just going to take everything because this team is just so good. Now, unfortunately, that poison type at the end is Salazzle, which isn't good. So I'm probably not going to take that. But still, I can get some really good stuff throughout this path just to keep fighting through. Now, if it were a situation where the NPC was only the one that had Whalmer, then I would totally just not switch at all. Because, you know, if someone's going to possibly be forced to have something bad anyways, might as well ensure that the 3 that have good things keep their good things. But I don't really have a choice because there's 2 NPCs and the one that has the Luxray might switch. Wait, no, I have the Luxray. What do they have? I don't know. Oh, the Galvantula. The one that has the Galvantula might switch anyways. So we're all awesome by the way. Indeed. Exactly. Oh. This is something funny I want to talk about. Have we seen the Switch 2 Joy-Con colors they announced? These, I like them, but it's stupid. So I actually have the Switch 1 version of these. I need to fix my left one because I had to harvest a button from it during my shell swap. Because it broke on my Joy-Con pair that I was doing the swap on. But, like, they're cool. I like these colors. I would totally get them. But the issue is, the way they're doing the Switch 2 stuff is the main controller is black, and the colors come in the form of the ring around the joystick, and then the color that's, like, on the inside part. So, I like this. Like, the minimalist design is cool and all. But if you play with it connected to anything at all, the only time you're going to see the color is on the little ring, which if you look at head on, the joystick pretty much covers that anyways. Or you can slightly see a little sliver between the console and the Joy-Con. So, like, they're cool. If I ever needed new Joy-Con, I'd probably get them over the original. But like, I don't know. I feel like it's cool. I like the coloring, but the only issue is the way the system itself works. You're paying extra for something that could easily be done for way cheaper. Like, I am pretty sure there's probably a way, because I saw that apparently, like, D brand or whatever, they're making custom shells for the Joy-Con that'll actually extend those colors and fully recolor the Joy-Con. Like, if something like that can be done, I imagine there's a way to just change out the little ring and stuff. In which case, you could probably buy, like, third-party variants of that for way cheaper and just do it on your current ones. Hatched way before I could cook them? Dang. Personally, I would like to see special edition, like full-on colored Joy-Con. Like more than just the black shell. Like, there was a concept for a ZA Switch for the bundle that had like a white dock with Zygarde on it. And then the two Joy-Con were like fully new shells and everything. And I think even the sticks were different colors. It was meant to look like ZA stuff. It was cool. I hope they do something like that for like Gen 10. Because I feel like Generation 10, that's probably going to be what we get this year. Like, I'm pretty sure. Because it lines up with the 30th, which I think they might have even done on purpose. It's going to be on the Switch 2, which is great. And also, if they keep with the standard color theme they do with a lot of games, where one game is blue, one game is red, or close enough to red and blue colors, they could totally do a special edition Switch that has the blue Joy-Con, or the left one, that one be themed for the game that's the blue coloring, and then the right Joy-Con be themed for the game that's red coloring. I think that would be cool. And honestly, I thought that's what they were going to do with all Joy-Con for a while. Since we only had the base colors for so long, I really thought that only special editions we would have got would have been blue and red themed. Because the grip and the Switch 2 on the inside, they both have blue and red internals. So that only matches with the blue and red colors. Which sucks. I wish they could have been like another thing you could take out in a way. Because then, if you got new colors ever, you would be able to switch them and have them match the new colors you got. So it's kind of sad. But oh well. I cooked them before you could. Yeah, I'm evil. I'm sorry. I will say I'm kind of sad because now that I have the Switch 2 Pro controller, I literally never have a reason to use the Joy-Con. Unless I'm playing like handheld or something. The only thing I'm thinking that would happen is if the Pro controller ever dies while I'm in the middle of playing, I would then switch to the Joy-Con. That's about it. Also, there's a controller I'm actually looking at getting. I don't remember what brand it is, but it's like the one I saw at first was a SNES themed one, but I think I've also seen they have GameCube ones in color. They're cool. They're more PlayStation style, where they have the D-pad and buttons at the top and then both sticks at the bottom. They look cool. I think they just released a new model or whatever. I would consider getting one if it's cheaper than the Pro controller is. Mr. Mime is weird. And now that we've said this, it's gonna be shiny. When? Around Halloween 2024, I think. It was around that time, I think. I don't know, just thinking back mentally, that's the soonest I can remember. I think it was a little before, like maybe even a month before. So I'd push into September. Was it an 8-bit dough? Damn, whatever. That, yeah, damn, whatever. That's how I've always heard this company referred to, because I watched Scott the Woz. So I always hear him be like, 8-bit damn, whatever. He has no idea. That worked out way better than I could have ever hoped. I accidentally hit B because I was like, I don't need this. Oh, I found it. It is 8-bit damn, whatever. I love their GameCube theme. Oh, they have a Game Boy themed one. That's cool. Ew. It's 2 Game Boy. It has like the Game Boy D-pad grip. I don't want that. No offense. This is cool because you can swap out the face button so you can get an Xbox grip. Well, not Xbox grip. You can lay them out like Xbox. Hall effect triggers and mode switching. Okay. You can make them not analog triggers or like switch. I don't like this. They come with like ball caps that are like arcade joysticks, but you get 2. The only reason I would see using the arcade style grip would be if you're playing like an arcade game. And even then you wouldn't need 2. You'd only need the 1. The right stick doesn't matter. Unless they want you to hold it with those like a normal grip. Like, ew. I'm dying. Give me a second. How much? Nod to classic GameCube colors. It has an adapter. Oh, you can macro these. That's cool. How much is it? Like, I want one of these, but it doesn't say how much it is, which sucks. I forgot to answer that. I'm currently getting like really involved in reading into something. Order on eShop. They have an eShop. It's $70. What? Oh, they're special. You can get the blue one, and it comes in transparent blue Pro 2. Oh, it's sold out. Never mind. Can't get it. Darn. Maybe cheaper. Mail. There we go. I can answer that now. I'm done getting lost in the sauce. That's weird. Okay, hold on. What do you think Tapu Lele would look like shellless, like without the hat and the bite? An ant? Probably. It looks very ant-like. Oh, I beat it. Nice. Uno, dos. Trace? No, I don't have 3 switches. I can get 3 switches very easily, although the 3rd switch would not be docked for a while. Well, it would be docked, it just wouldn't be on a display. And it would be across the room for now. Although I was looking, and I'm really tempted. So I found, like, I was watching a video to look into how to get like my PS3 on capture card, and the person linked like all the stuff they used. Their Elgato capture card link was an eBay link, and it just linked to like people selling them on eBay. And I found a lot of them for like fairly good prices. Like, the only downside would be, like, some of them didn't come with cables, but I don't think, like, I'm pretty sure I would have cables that would work with them anyways. But they were like $30, some of them, and like, as long as they're not broken or anything, I think that's a good deal. And will give me a third capture card, I could do 3 switches. Anyways, Crawdaunt, no. Dunsparce, no. Mr. Mime, no. Tapu Fini, aw. You know, for a second there, I got really excited because the switch on the right, it took way longer to load that than normal. I was really hoping that the longer load time meant it was going to load the shiny. You have to go for dinner? Alright. Take care. Dinner is crazy. Like, I keep forgetting time zones are different. Like, I see that in the word dinner, I'm like, dinner is crazy. It's lunchtime for me. Okay. 2 more, and I will hit odds. Just keep that in mind. Might be back, depends. Okay. I'm thinking as long as I don't get the shiny by odds, I'll probably go longer. Pink curtain. Curses. Honestly, I'm gonna let the AI have freedom to switch because Manectric is gonna eat the Luxray's attacks. Actually, this works great because I can get them guaranteed 2 good swaps. Because Jolteon is a good thing. Yeah, anything after 100 is going to be over odds. Technically not, but also technically yes. Because if you do the mathing and everything, and like consider the fact that each game is its own game, technically it's supposed to be, well, not supposed to. Technically, if you look at it, by the time I hit 100, each game is only at 50, but across the board, I've still seen 100. Like, theoretically, if you were to have 8,192 Game Boy Advance systems set up, and you had each of them pick the starter at the start of the game, in theory, if we lived in a perfect world where everything worked out perfectly, one of them would have a shiny. Now, we don't live in that perfect world, but you know. That's how that works out, technically. So, again, technically, even though they'll both be at 50, they will have seen 100 collectively, which means one of those should have been shiny. That's how this works. They don't actually affect each other, it's just getting me to hitting 100 faster. When you thought Fini's shell was supposed to be a swordfish, still not sure. I think it's a dolphin. Because Fini, kind of like the dolphin, and like Delfino, or whatever, from Mario Sunshine. Because that's dolphin. Which I think is funny, because I'm pretty sure GameCube was called Project Dolphin. So I think they reused that in the GameCube Mario game with Isle Delfino and all that. Or is it just Isle Delphine? And the place is called Delfino. I don't know. Well, it could be a dolphin, but if it is, why is the nose thing so long? Good question. Elements of swordfish, mermen / mermaids, and something else. It's warfare. Okay, so it is a swordfish. I like swordfish. They're pretty cool. So I think Fini is more coming from the fin. Well, it's not an assumption for me because I already said so. I don't know about Marshmallow. I think Tapu Fini is actually a Tapu Fini. You're gonna keep it a secret? Oh, you're mean. Yeah, I think Tapu Fini is actually based on the real life Tapu Fini. You know, they're really rare. I've actually seen one in my life. They're pretty cool. You can find them in the Pacific Ocean. The Pacific Ocean. Yeah. You know, be honest, like, hey, it's fine. Unless you were talking to marshmallows, I don't know. And I can't speak on behalf of marshmallows. I don't care though. Who wants it? Okay. Hear me out. I take this actually. Because then we don't have Lightning Rod to worry about. Watch, I say that I'm going to take it because I don't want to worry about Lightning Rod. And then Luxray is going to switch anyway, so Lightning Rod wouldn't have been an issue. You're going to go now. Alright, take care. Pacific, who knows? Yeah, it's in the Pacific Ocean. That's where you find a Tapu Fini. And if you find a Tapu Fini in the Pacific Ocean, there's about like a 1 in 100 chance that it's not purple. This is actually a rare birth defect they have sometimes. Because, you see, normally their shell is supposed to be purple. But due to like poor dietary plans and stuff, you know, eating unhealthy and stuff, going to a bunch of fast food joints, sometimes the mother Tapu Fini, like, will not be healthy enough, and then the child's shell won't fully develop color. So, oh, this is my favorite one. By myself. Ha 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 ha. It's funny. Please laugh. Yay! I love when me and people have things in common. Yeah. It makes the shell black, therefore shiny. Yeah. Pollen Puff, doesn't that also heal? I think it does. I might be just killing my teammate here. I don't think any of them have a poison move, so Helping Hand might not be the play. Bro chachos. Maybe I should have used Pollen Puff on the Vileplume. Or did I? No, I didn't, because it was at full. They are real. They exist. Yay! Okay, I'm gonna be honest. Oh, I can't Pollen Puff myself, because I'm the one who has Pollen Puff. That makes sense. I was like, why didn't I Pollen Puff the Vileplume? Because Vileplume is the one using it. I remember the first time I heard like the Pokemon Moon, because I know like I don't know if they did it before, but for Sun and Moon, like the first season I think was technically Sun, and then the second one was Moon or whatever, and then they had the Ultra Adventures that were the Ultra games. But I remember the Sun one, it was like all happy and upbeat and everything. I remember that. And then the one for the Moon season, like I remember it was like it started off by saying all the Tapu names. It was cool. I remember that. And I think it actually did them in order. Like it said Coco, Lele, Bulu, Fini, because that's the order you visit their islands. I also think it's interesting how like Coco and Lele, their names are literally just the same thing twice, but then Bulu and Fini, they're different. That's interesting. Whimsicott, I don't need that. Oh, that's great. Hold on, there's still one more though. I think actually that Alchemy even still has a, what is it? Grass move. I think it has a grass move that attacks. So I can swap here, or really anyone can swap here, I think. I'll Bright Powder. Why did Luxray take that? Tapu Cocoa Puffs? Yeah. Isn't the mascot for those an actual bird or something? Hold on, I need to look this up. It is. Okay. Oh my gosh, wait. Is this like a brownie recipe featuring Cocoa Puffs? That's cool. Baking stream when? Cocoa Puff brownies. That looks good, actually. Isn't like the whole gimmick of those supposed to be that like they slowly infuse their flavor into the milk so then it becomes chocolate milk? I haven't had those in forever. I want to get Reese's Puffs though. I love Reese's Puffs. Reese's Puffs actually. I don't think it's Reese's because I think it's supposed to be Reese's Pieces, like that, not Reese's Pieces. So I think it's Reese's Puffs, not Reese's. I've just been brainwashed into thinking Reese's because everyone says that. Like espresso, it's just espresso. I can use some Thunderbolts. Yeah, Reese's Puffs. I love Reese's Pieces. Yeah, I love Reese's Puffs. Hold on. Also, I will say my favorite Reese's product is the Take 5 or whatever. What is it actually called? Is it actually called the Take 5? It is. Yeah, I like that the most. That's my favorite Reese's product. Because, you know, you got the chocolate, you got the peanut butter, you got the pretzel. There's two other things. I only listed 3. Alright, there's also caramel and peanuts. Okay. I didn't know there was also peanuts. Tapu Bulu Blue Raspberry, Tapu Fini Finish the chips. Honestly, Reese's Puffs are good. I might get me some soon. Reese's Puff, Reese's Puff. Beat 'em up, beat 'em up, beat 'em up, beat 'em up. Honestly, I'd be fine if Luxray swapped. Okay. It doesn't matter. Anyone could have that. Put the giant cake into a giant Premier Ball. Yeah. Yeah, Reese's Take 5, that's like my favorite Reese's product. So like, Reese's, hit me up. I'll, sponsor deal, question mark. I get Reese's Take 5, you get promotion. Realistically, Gmax Alchemy could solve world hunger in the Pokemon world, so could Snorlax. I feel like Snorlax would cause world hunger. Because, you know, it has a bigger belly now, it's gonna go eat more. Gigantamax Duraludon. That could solve the housing issues for 3 Pokemon turns. Well, how do you count a Pokemon turn in like real time? Because realistically, the turn only ends once both Pokemon have made their move. So if you Dynamax it outside of battle, like, how long would that last? Or do we have to assume that Pokemon battles being turn-based is, like, whoa, that did a lot of damage. But it's Pokemon battle. Maybe ZA actually showed us how Pokemon battles actually work. Like, it's actually in real time like that. But the main series, we're just, like, freezing in time. And it's supposed to be us thinking through, and the battles are actually much faster paced. In which case, I'd assume Gigantamaxing would probably last as long as Mega Evolution and ZA does, while you're outside of battle. In which case, that would not be very long to have a luxury apartment. I'm sure there are other Gigantamax Pokemon that could do good for us. I mean, I can't think of anything though, because we kind of mentioned the ones that solve food problems. Anyways, Jolteon, no. Whimsicott, no. Alchemy, no. Tapu Fini, no. Next one's hitting odds. I'm coughing like crazy. Can feel the Shiny Fini's presence. Hopefully, I mean, I've only ever gotten one Dynamax Adventure shiny at odds, which was Mewtwo forever ago on an old save. I remember I was hunting it. Okay, yeah, I remember I was hunting it, and I had to stop at like 98 or something to go do something. Then I came back, did 99, not shiny, and then 100, I was like, okay, this is hitting odds, surely I'm getting the shiny, and it actually was shiny. I don't think I'm going to get that lucky again. And unfortunately, that means it's going to be 2 hunts over odds now. Okay, so I think my mathing is right. I forgot exactly how I did these calculations. But assuming Tapu Fini shines on this one, then the next 3 Tapus I do will have to have a collective total of 44 encounters for me to be at odds on average. And that's not 44 each. Each one would have to add up to be 44, I think. Which is crazy. Oh, nice. No one swapped. Okay, yeah, I'm right. It's literally just total number of hunts times 100 for the expected average, and then you subtract that from how many encounters you've then you subtract how many encounters you've done from that, and then you're left with how many total encounters the next hunts would need to take. Yeah, for context, like, the next hunts would have to be like 20, 12, and 12 to work out. Not great. Or I could have crazy luck, have 42, 1, and 1. That'd be 3 shiny legendaries in a row, so that's probably not gonna happen. But whatever. Okay, a bit nicer number. If we look at all the hunts I'm gonna do, which is 3 more Tapus, Solgaleo, Necrozma, and Zygarde, that's 6 more hunts. I would need 344 encounters across all 6 of those, which is about 50 something per hunt on average. Interesting math. I like doing that. Like, it's not important to know any of that, but it's always fun to just look into the math behind the hunts and see what my average would be. I really hope one of the NPCs takes this. I'd prefer if the Piloswine takes it, just because it's weak to Fini. Well, that sucks. Fini time, yeah. You're finally back. Welcome back. You're back in time to see hopefully what is the most important Tapu Fini of this hunt, since this will be the one that hits odds. Now, technically, if we want to be 100% technical here, assuming it shines at odds, the right game is going to be shiny. Because if you think about it technically, since the left game just does everything first because it's on a Switch 2 and goes faster, it's getting all the odd ones. The right game is getting all the even ones. So technically the right game will be the one that has the true 100, but it doesn't matter. If either of them shine, it's technically at 100. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, okay, Switch 1's checking. Okay, Switch 2. Okay. So like if the left game gets the shiny, it's still at 100. I'm not saying 99. I could. Random name for the next shiny. Okay. Okay. I'll consider it. I should turn nicknames on for this after this one. I think that's unfair. It should not get to use a Dynamax move as its second attack. If it gets a Dynamax move, it should only be that one move for the turn. I feel like I remember seeing something with Shinotic where, like, apparently in Japanese, its name is very close. Well, we lost. Never mind, this isn't the important one. Okay, to be fair, it cheated, though. Anyways, I remember seeing a thing where, like, apparently Shinotic's name in Japanese is so similar to Marshadow's that when they were, like, making the games or whatever, they accidentally marked Shinotic as a mythical or whatever. So because of that, for a little bit there, Shinotic was a mythical and Marshadow wasn't. I don't know if that's true or not, but I saw that once. And I think that's just kind of funny that Shinotic of all things was technically mythical. Path here is garbage. I think this is just a guaranteed loss. You like mushrooms, but you don't like mushroom Pokemon? That's fair. I don't even like mushrooms, I don't think. I've never really like had a mushroom, but I don't really want to have one either. Let's see if there's a status war between me and Dusclops. Honestly, I almost feel like I should have reset the path. Because while we did lose that last one, everything was good. So I feel like that was just cheating AI from the boss. And also dumb NPC work. And if I changed a few things, I probably could have had a better team and everything. But it's fine. This path is bad, so it'll probably end before I can even get there, honestly. And then I can start another one that's hopefully better. And this one's like really bad. Like, no one really has anything good. And there's no way for everyone to switch, because this isn't even good. So there's only 2 possible switch opportunities, really, even though I think only 1 is good still. And knowing AI, they're not going to want it. They're going to want the bad stuff. So I think I'm just cooked. You know the path is bad when Pyukumuku is one of the best things on the team. back. Okay. Chaos frog cursor. Oh, I go back. What do you mean by that? I don't fully understand the question. Yeah, that works. I sent to Earth way far back. Yeah. You're right. Can't use fly because of gravity. Really? Whoever used gravity, screw you. Might take a break and bench reset. All good. That's a good idea. What zone? I wish I knew. I don't really know the spawns for this game. Not this game, the ZA. I've barely touched ZA. Just pick a number. Okay, 7. I don't even know where 7 is. Yeah, this is gonna be a loss anyways. Garbage path, we're gonna lose. Real question's about to be, how long do I last? Oh wow, another fail. This is taking way longer than I expected. I might actually stop at 100, I'm not even gonna lie. The game does not want me to hit 100, it seems. Because it's just bad path after bad path. So, well, there's Alolan Raichu, which is okay. But the choices are terrible. Come on. Very slow today. This is taking forever. Okay, that was actually good damage. Alright, that's 2 down. I don't even know how many deaths I have though. Honestly, this is just a terrible path in general. Alright, as long as nothing goes horribly wrong, this might be 100. You're back. Welcome back. Just in time for what is hopefully the true 100. If we get our act together. Alright, this is odds. It's happened. I need to adjust this now. There we go. It's centered. Somehow with an even worse path. I am gonna need to buy more Pokeballs because I am fresh out. I have one Pokeball left. That's not enough for the next adventure. I'm getting hungry, so I'm ending after this one. This will be my last one for the session. I've been doing pretty good about hitting 20 per session.
Yeah, I'm getting hungry. It's been almost 4 hours. Alright. No. 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 It's over odds. Alright, well, that's where I'm gonna end for now. Maybe tomorrow I'll do some more. And maybe even tomorrow I might do some on my own time. I'd hate to do that because I'd rather do it like this, but I don't know, it just depends on what time I have. So yeah, I'm gonna go eat. Take care.